Hey guys, what's up? Andrew from American Musical Supply here at Winter NAMM 2020 on day 2. I feel like I'm giving you a chronology of my life here with all these videos, but here I am in the Fishman booth with my buddy Ken. How you doing?
Good. I thought you guys were always AMS. I don't know where you guys got that whole American musical. What was it?
Oh, American Musical Supply. I mean, that's the for the aficionados, that's what we're known as.
Well, yeah, this is the tech geek video. I like this. Thanks for coming to the Fishman booth. This is awesome.
You're welcome. You're welcome. But we often go by the moniker AmericanMusical.com.
Oh, then excuse me. Yeah. So, NAMM 2020 has been a really great launching pad for us this year. I mean, every year I think I'm happy you guys are here checking out our gear. It's just getting bigger and bigger every year. We're really excited.
So what's new in the way of Fluence pickups? I mean, this is a technology that's been around for a couple of years now, and it's sort of, I guess, taken the market by storm, So.
Yeah, it's been amazing. Larry Fishman, our whole team, it's been absolutely amazing. Obviously, we make these new pickups that have a completely new design. Other companies are still doing the old school method of like winding copper wire, using hundreds of turns. No, I know it's an inside joke between the two of us, but no, they use turns, and they use fancy marketing, advertisement saying like, this guy climbed a mountain and, with this unicorn hair, designed the perfect pickup, and now we have it for sale for you. We don't sit behind that kind of marketing tactics. We actually know what pickups do, how they sound. We have that 48-layer precision coil that I have in my hand. I know you guys don't have Zoom. It's not a high-quality vid, but we got this, precision coil, 48 layers. It basically can do anything. It's unbelievable. The technology's taken off. Artists like Devin Townsend, Greg Koch, Killswitch Engage, Lamb of God. The list is on and on. Tosin Abasi, Javier Reyes. It's just everyone's playing our stuff, and it's like it wasn't a thing, and now it's really a thing. So,
and it seems that it's kind of branched out too, right? Like it sort of started being, I guess, pickups that were more geared towards heavier styles of music, but it seems like it's more branched out now too.
Yeah, like guys like Rush Parrish, Greg Koch. Rush Parrish is from Satchel from Steel Panther, but he plays our classic pickups. Charvel is like putting so many of our Fluence open core pickups in their guitars. Ibanez is using stuff. ESP Schecter. It's like this past year has been unbelievable for us.
So, and the technology has multiple or two voicings in each pickup, right?
Yeah, they're noiseless, they're versatile, they're dynamic, they're completely consistent. That's the other thing too. Like, I play in a band called Unearth, and I'd go in the studio with my producer, and he'd be like, "Oh, this guitar is sick. This guitar is this one's dark. This one's bright." But all the guitars were made up of the same woods, almost. And I'm like, how is it that these guitars vary so much? And sure enough, once I was introduced with Larry, to Larry Fishman, and he showed me the Fluence technology, now I'm putting like a template in there, like a guitar pickup that I know sounds great, and it's manufactured identically all the way across, the board. Analog pickups, still real pickups, no digital. It's nothing crazy. This is advancing the technology of pickup creation. So now I go into the studio, and every single one of my guitars, my producer like taste tests the wood. Oh, I like the maple neck versus the like rosewood or whatever it is, and it's fantastic. That and players like professional players. Right. They're all picking up on this really fast. Yeah.
That's cool. You should put like a producer knob on your guitar. So like if he says something and you turn it and it doesn't do anything, but it makes him think it does.
Dude, me personally, if my knob works, I'm cool. If the guitar is on and it's live, I'm happy.
Very cool. So what about up until this point, you've been talking about guitars and even multi-scale instruments with more than 6 strings and that kind of thing. But what about going into the lower register of the frequency range?
Well, that's the best part about Fluence. It feels like each individual string has its own preamp, because when you hit the full, like a big inverted chord or something, you're not missing any of you always see the middle of the string. Somewhere in the middle of your chord, those strings duck under, right? The high and the lows. With Fluence, it's just one fell swoop. So, for instance, we put out the Stephen Carpenter Signature Series pickups, but he loved the moderns, and Tosin Abasi, same thing. They all play extended range guitars, and they feel like it's better because you have such a wide frequency range. Everything's clear, everything's dynamic, and Tosin Abasi said, he's like, feels like I'm playing a piano. Like everything's super wide, super clear, and super open. And that's translated right into our bass products. Last year we put out bass, and we like the fact that there's like 9, 10 strings coming out. We had a kid here with 16 string guitar. Fluence works with that because it's picking up all the frequencies, all the low end, and the note separation is like, you can't match it with a wire wound pickup. It's never going to happen.
Very cool. So, and then in terms of bass pickups, is there anything? What's the feedback you've been getting from bass players regarding these versus a traditional bass pickup?
Well, our traditional soap bar bass pickups, any bass player that's ever touched them has loved them instantly. Has 3 voicings. One voicing's like a traditional like vintage style P bass. In the down position's like active sounding, and then there's a mid contour where it's like a scooped kind of sound, and you can also like push and pull and do single coil, well, single width or whatever you want to call it. But it's like so versatile. You can get like a flea bass sound. You can get active heavy metal, hard rock, scooped like Korn, like that kind of stuff. So guys have been loving it, and actually. The first product I could actually talk about that came out this year was Mike Inez Legacy Series. We've been waiting for some time to like obviously validate our company, our brand, right, as like this like amazing pickup. And now that that's happened, we've kind of taken a step further. We have our core pickups, we have our signature series pickups, but there's something to be had for like, there's these guys out there, and most musicians deal with this on an average basis. Like, I have this one set of pickup that's like better than all my pickups. Mike Inez from Alice in Chains came to me at one point and he's like, listen, I have a bass that Ozzy bought me in the 80s. I'm not sure if the pickup manufacturer, if these are actually their pickups, because they told me they weren't. Then they tell me they are. Whatever. Regardless, they could never reproduce this set of pickups.
Wow.
I have a million basses, but I only have one that sounds good. And if you look at his Moonburst, Mike Inez's Moonburst, the cavity is crushed in, like the control plate is just smashed. The neck's been repaired 1,000 times. And he tells me I have legitimate dreams that like a forklift's going to hit my bass and I'm never going to have that, or I'm going to plug it in, it's never going to be the same. So I said, give me the bass. Like, we have this thing. Let me blow you away. I didn't even tell him. I was like, I have this thing. Let me just give me your bass. He plays House of Blues in Boston, and he's like, all right, coming down. We take the strings off his bass. We analyze it. We look at it. It tells the whole story. And we're like, all right, now let's go into R&D. We build a pickup. We flew out to LA, and we took his producer. We wanted to make sure it was like legit. Like, so we took the guy who makes all the one of them works on all the Alice in Chains records, and we're like, all right, let's go. And we start playing and playing and playing. Next thing you know, 8 hours later, we're like, I'm punching in and out. This thing sounds amazing. And if anything, this has more like dynamic range than the original pickup. Okay. So now we open up this thing that's not signature series, because he didn't go in there and say, oh, I really want this. This is a legacy series. Guys with like proven careers who are now want to move forward and say, this is the bass pickup out of my bass into yours. So we have this whole little Mike Inez, legacy series thing. He actually was so excited about this. He asked us to this is his actual bass. Oh, this is the prototype. He wanted us to have it in the booth so people could play his actual bass.
Wow.
So underneath the housing it's a soap bar, but there's a reverse P inside of here. So there's magnets here and here. Voice 1 is his quintessential, and it's in our marketing document. It is his quintessential Aussie / Alice in Chains tone. Like, wood is wood, like his, when he plays like Alice in Chains songs on a record, that's what you get. And if I plugged it in and play it, you'd be like, that's the tone. You know what I mean? Search no further. Then they do the Alice in Chains like laid back kind of stuff. He also played with Heart for a little while. So we have this like his voice 2 is like a vintage P, but it's like super like warm and big. So you can do like that, No Excuses and songs like that they play. So he'll be here at 2:00 and he's gonna tell his story. But this is a really exciting just story behind like what our technology can do. It's been amazing. People have been really like kind of like, for those that have played it, have been kind of blown away at this whole thing.
Cool. So is there any new stuff in the horizon for Fishman Fluence?
Well, we also released the signature series with Javier Reyes from Animals as Leaders. And, long story short, he was not a Fluence believer. Tosin Abasi sold a lot of pickups for us. He's very successful as far as our signature line goes. Javier got a set of his pickups. We sent him some, and he's like, it's not for me. It's like, I'm just a passive guy, and I'm looking for something else,
yeah,
right?
It's funny. They did some video in your studio, right?
Yeah.
And I think I recall he was playing a guitar that was not Fluence equipped. Yeah.
Yeah, and we were cool. They were like, play what you want. But he was like, but now we put him in front of our technology. We said, let's go. Let's grab your guitars, all the ones that were his aces. And sure enough, he was like, we got to the point where he's like, this is it. this is like way better than anything else I have in the room. He's like, this is going to be my signature. So his voice 1 is very aggressive and passive sounding, and then voice 2 is like a jazz box. His pickup would like sound great in a 335. So it's very, very versatile for different applications. But again, he was a non-believer. He's like, I can't live without it. So note separation, clarity, voicing, the whole 9. It's been great, and it's actually pretty amazing for me as an artist relations guy and being a musician to facilitate all these like dreams that guitar players and bass players have had. And now I'm kind of like that guy. It's like, all right, I'm a fancy leprechaun. Like, rub me and I'll make your favorite pickup. You know what I mean? And dudes are like, oh, cool. I'm like a genie. Just tell me what your wishes are. But it's super cool, and I'm really happy to have the artist roster I have. Everyone on my roster is like really, really cool to deal with. I could tell you if there's any jerks, but there's not.
Very cool. Well, thanks so much for spending a few moments with us.
Yeah.
Tell us about these incredible pickups. If you're interested in picking up a set, see what I did there? Picking up of Fishman Fluence pickups, you can head on over to AmericanMusical.com.
Thanks.
You.